Well, I'll feel better about it once it's actually agreed to and voted on, so that we're not facing the destruction of the state as we know it, as envisioned by Governor Jim Gibbons. So, it's not soup yet. Senator Horsford's on his way down here right now, and then we meet with the other key senators, and so I'm still apprehensive because I know how quickly things fall apart in this building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these are unprecedented fiscal times. I mean, to maintain services at the current level, we would need 44% more revenue. I mean, that's a staggering number.
It is.
And so
And there's no way to get there from here.
Yeah, you can't cut state government, which again, over 50% of what we fund is education. You can't cut by 44%, and you can't raise taxes by 44%.
Now, why do you say that? The cutting, I think I understand. It would decimate what services we have now.
Yeah, in my opinion, and from the folks I consulted with, you have to tread carefully. If you were to raise taxes by 44%, our economists say you may trigger a further recession. You have to be careful. There's no blueprint for this. This isn't like the temporary loss of income we saw after 9/11, which we thought was staggering. I mean, we're on a roller coaster, so it's important you get it right. One of the first things you learn as a new lawmaker is if you can't count the number you need to pass or enact legislation, then you've missed your first day of your legislative lesson. I have to say this, that you cannot underestimate how difficult it is to get 2/3 of the legislature to agree on a completely different budget than what is submitted by the governor. Basically, throw his budget out, start all over again, and raise sufficient revenue to fund that budget in a recession. I don't think people should lose sight of that. The other thing that we've achieved that I'm pretty proud of, or hopefully will achieve, is the creation of a forced savings account, a budget stabilization account. That's passed the Assembly, it's pending in the Senate. An education rainy day fund that's funded by taking some of the rich tax breaks that have been given to private companies and instead has that fund an education rainy day fund. A bill on spending priorities and a plot of how to get out of last place in some of these key areas that was passed by the Assembly despite the governor saying, hey, it's going to cost us several $100,000 to plan.
Yeah.
We think planning's just part of the job. So I think we did the best job that we could under the circumstances, especially recognizing that you need 2/3 of diverse Republicans, Democrats, rural legislators, urban legislators. Hey, you know what I'd say to a critic is go out and pick 63 people off the street and get them to agree on a state budget and a state revenue plan in 120 days and come up with 2/3 of them.
So in this budget, in your opinion, there is no waste in this budget.
There is not. Now certainly the far right can say, well, I don't think the government should be in the business of regulating business.
Right. There
And
there
I'd
may
say-
be there may be
I'd say,
ideological
"What?"
opinion differences as to whether something is necessary or not.
That's right.
But as far as your understanding of what government ought to do, there's no waste from that standpoint.
That's my opinion, yes.